Hello everyone, this is Julie with Craft with Julie, and it is the second Friday of the month, which means it is time for a YouTube sketch collab with my talented friends. Each of us are taking this sketch and kind of putting our own twist and ideas to that. So you make sure and check out what they created. I'll put a list, or I will link the playlist in the description of the video so you can make sure to check them out. So this was the sketch for this month. It's from Page Maps. And when I first saw this, I kind of focused on these flowers right here. And I just received this new stamp set. It's called Pop-Up Petals. It is an online exclusive, I believe. It just came out. And look at this fun new packaging from Stampin'Up. So we have this nice envelope, and then you have your stamp inside, and you can also keep your die cuts along with your stamp set in your envelope, and it all just goes like that, and it's nice and thin. I did like the CD cases, but they do take up a lot of room, so I'm really excited about this new packaging. But this little flower section reminded me of this one right here. I'd been using this stamp set on cards, and I thought it'd be so cute to use it for a scrapbook page as well. And then the paper, oh, actually, the photo I am going to be scrapbooking today is going back in the past. This is me right here. I am the baby, and my sisters and my grandma. And I just thought this paper collection, which is called Brushed with Beauty, reminds me so much of my grandma. So I remembered this photo that we had, and I'm like, I really want to scrapbook this moment where I'm a baby and my sisters are loving on me with my grandma with this paper collection. I also thought that a doily, these are brand new as well, it's an online exclusive, might be cute to put here instead of the circle. So we're going to see if those will work into the project as well. So let's go ahead and get started on this page. Before I get started on the actual page, I'm going to do some prep. So I'm going to stamp some of the elements that I want to use on the page. So I want to grab a couple of these, and I love these little vases, and so I'm going to stamp them. There's this one, and then this one with the line. Another block. So I just have a scratch piece of white cardstock that I'm going to stamp on. I'm just going to bring a stamp pad in just to help get a better image. So I chose Petal Pink. That matches the paper collection I'm using, which is the Brushed with Beauty. I love that they show you right on the package what colors match, so I don't have to think about it. Okay, I'm just going to do one of those. Nice, kind of a light orange. And then I'm going to do one in Calypso Coral. And I chose the two orangey tones because this color really reminds me of my grandma. She wore this color a lot. She was a redhead, natural or not. She always had red hair. And so we're never allowed to talk about if she colored her hair either. So those two colors totally remind me of my grandma. And so let's go ahead and, okay, we have our little flower bunch. I think I'm going to do two of them. Actually, I could do a rose in that one. Maybe I'll do it and then see what I think. Okay, so let's grab another block. I just had a bunch of random blocks sitting on my desk. It helps me grab things quicker. So this is Memento black, so we can color in these images. So I'm going to stamp it right there. And then one more block and this little bunch of flowers right there. And I'm kind of doing them far apart because this stamp set actually does have dies that go with it. So I can run this through my die machine really quick once I'm done coloring. Okay, so I think that was all I wanted to. So this set has these little circles that match up with the insides of those flowers. So I want to actually stamp that in Early Espresso. And make sure it matches somewhat. There we go. And then this one doesn't have, okay. So let's color in these images. I'm going to be using light Mossy Meadow and also Ivory. So those are colored, so I can grab my dies and put those, match them up. There's also some of these little pop-ups, so you can do like a little pop-up inside of the card and things like that. So there's a lot of fun, different things you can do with this set. I love this little fishbowl. So cute. Looks like a fishbowl, but okay. And then we have this one, and then this rose. So now I don't have to fussy cut them, which is great. I'll just run this through my machine, and then we'll be ready to start assembling our layout. So I don't typically use like a whole piece of pattern paper for my background, but I loved this stripe. On the back is this beautiful floral, which is gorgeous, but I really like the simplicity of this stripe. So that's what I'm going to use as my base. And then I have a floral piece that I'm going to use over here. And then instead of the floral piece going down, I'm going to use this kind of a brushed Mossy Meadow. So that's the other side. This green totally reminds me of my grandma as well. She gave us a couch. We had a couch when we were younger that was like this color. It was awesome. And then for the journaling spot, I have this one right here. And I chose very vanilla because I think white would be too bright. And then across the top, there's this little piece. So I just chose to do a piece of Early Espresso. And then down here, they also have kind of a piece right here. So that is going to be my starting point. So let's go ahead and add these to the page. Like I said earlier, these floral pages totally remind me of my grandma, and I remembered that photo that we had in our family memory book. My mom had a scrapbook, or a kind of book of remembrance, I guess it was. It was huge. It was like this huge old thing, and like the pages were huge, and I think that's where my love for documenting and scrapbooking started. I would go and take that book and just look at it all the time. I even had like the little captions my mom wrote memorized. So I just love it. Okay, so on this, instead of making it just plain on the edges, I'm going to use my scissors to rough these up a little bit and maybe roll them just to make a little bit more I don't know, vintage, I guess. So my sister took all of those photos that were in that book of remembrance, because I'm sure it was not on acid-free paper, and she scanned all of those photos in, and so I remember like exactly where that photo is in that book. But now I can add it to my scrapbook and add my story of my sisters and my grandma. There is quite an age difference between me and my sisters. I think there's like 4 or 5 years. I keep forgetting. And so they were bigger when I was born, and so I think they liked me. I mean, the look on their faces just say they like me. Or my grandma said something funny. I don't know. It could go either way. But I just really love that photo. My dad is actually in the background and unfortunately got cut off, but I will include him in there's another photo of me on this day with my dad. So and also my mom, so I can scrapbook that on a different page. Do you guys do that? Do you take the photos from your childhood and scrapbook them as well? Or kind of maybe tell your own story about what you feel about the picture? I don't know. I don't know if that's the right thing, but we got the files for all these photos for Christmas one year, and I haven't used them yet. And so I was looking at them the other day and like, this is the perfect time to bring those out. So I'm going to curl the edges just a little bit and give it more of a vintage feel. And then I'm going to add that right on the page. And then this is the journaling. So let me add this photo and then grab my journaling pen and my ruler. And we will add some journaling lines on here. Make sure this page is straight. Okay. And just add a couple lines for journaling. Just kind of eyeball it. I don't measure it too closely. I don't know how much journaling I should do on this. Maybe I should go ask my sisters their point of view of this photo, because they were older. They might remember when I came home from the hospital, and see what they have to say. That would be fun. Different perspective. Okay. I think, oh, it's moving. Okay, there we go. Let's do like one more. Okay. All right, so we have this piece that goes across the top. I might line it up with the top of that paper so it's just not floating. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And this is Early Espresso. It's one of the colors that coordinate with this paper collection. Early Espresso is like, I love it. It's such a good color. Just wanted to make it pop just a little bit more. So I used that. Okay, and then we have this one right here that's actually kind of acts like a shelf for the little doodads that I have. So maybe I'll just add that down there. This cardstock is two-tone, so you can do the light side and the dark side. And I think I messed up and I put the glue on the dark side, but oh well. We will keep it like that. Okay. And then I did have that doily that I showed you in the beginning. So these are a brand new product. They come in like real red and this pink. I tried the pink and I think the pink was a little too bright. So I'm actually just going to flip it over and use the white side, even though it's not really meant for that. I mean, I guess it just depends on the crafter, right? What it's meant for and what it's not. I'm going to add some glue on this little doily. They come in 2 sizes. So this is the smaller size and we have the bigger size as well. And again, in red and the pink. So fun for Valentine's Day, which is, you know, a few months away, but I think that's really cute for a page like this as well. Okay, so I add my photo. I did map my photo on Early Espresso and Very Vanilla. I really like to have kind of that white or lighter color around. And then in the sketch, the title was right here, and I tried it there and it just felt like it got lost. So I think I'm going to actually put it up here. And this was a Close to My Heart die cut that I have in my stash. I love how bold it is. I tried a thinner die cut and it was just a little too, it didn't stand out enough for me. So we can put our title. Oops, there we go. S-I-S. There we go. Let's spell it right. S-I-S-T-E-R-S. Sisters. Okay, then I can add that right there. And then I have my little vases that I'm going to add here in this section. And my flowers. So I actually chose to do a rose and then these more like daisy flowers because it represents actually me and my grandma. These are my favorite flower, and roses were my grandma's. She grew the most amazing rose garden, and it was beautiful. So many fun roses. At one point she showed me how to take a start from her roses and bring it into my own garden, and that was a fun little activity that we did together. And so I had some of her roses in my first home, and unfortunately I wasn't able to take them with me, but I still have that memory of how she would come and she showed me how to do it. And I think it's called a slip, and then you plant it and have the little jar over the top, and it was just a fun memory with my grandma. So I'm going to add a little dimension to these. Like that. And then this one. Okay, and then add these little guys popping out. It's so funny how just like a little image of like a rose totally brings back so many memories of your childhood. And also that was at our first house, so that was when I was older. And she'd always come and check on the roses and make sure they're doing okay. And during the summer, she'd always have a fresh bouquet of roses on her kitchen table. I loved it. They smelled so good. Okay, so I think I'm gonna just add a few more things to this. Let's see. I was thinking of something. Now I can't remember what I was thinking. So I think we're going to add some accents to it as well. Okay, so I brought in the antique pearl. I think those would go really well with this kind of antique-y look. And I remember what I was going to do. I remember we have this little flower in that same collection. And I'm going to stamp a few and maybe put them up by the title. Like I thought of it and then I forgot. And then I'm like, oh, I thought of it again. And so we're just going to quickly color these in with the same color. This is the Ivory. I think it's a nice kind of a muted yellow. And then the inside, I'll have to go grab like a brown so it matches. The Early Espresso. I don't think, let's see. There's not one. So there is one that you could stamp and color in the rose with. And also like the tulips and not the leaves. So you don't have to color, you can stamp on them. Okay, so I colored these three in, and I think I'm going to just add them right underneath. Kind of played around to see maybe like up there, or maybe I could do like 2 right there and like 1 right there. Maybe I'll do that, or all 3 on the bottom. Oh, I don't know. I can't decide. I'll just do all 3 on the bottom. This also has a die cut as well, so I was able to color them in and then just ran them through my die cut machine, or you can fussy cut as well. Let's add that one and then 1 more. These little tiny 3D dots. Okay, so now we kind of tie that into there. Oh, it's totally giving like a 70s vibe, right? Okay, so now I'll take these dots and maybe add a few around the page. I really like these smaller ones. Let's see what we have. Add a couple maybe over here. And for sure some up here by the sisters. Add right there. And let's see, where else do you think? I don't know, I think that's good. I think I am done. Remember, this is a collaboration, so make sure you go and check out what the other ladies created with this exact same sketch. I used the pop-up petals for my little accents and the doilies. I will put a list of supplies I used in the description of the video. And if you enjoyed this video, I would love a thumbs up. Make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future collaborations, and let me know in the comments what you think about this layout, or even maybe a fun story about your grandma or your sisters. So thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you next time.